Right now at 5:30, dozens of people are gathering to support the immigrant community after recent reports of targeted arrests by ICE in Madison. And we'll take a look at a new live music venue in Madison that will be opening later this week.
This is News 3 at 5:30.
Dozens of people gathered to show unity for the local immigrant community after U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement made multiple arrests in Madison. About 60 protesters gathered on Park Street today to show their support for those taken and their families affected. The organization Voces de la Frontera says on Saturday that at least 9 people had been taken into custody by ICE officials. One area teacher became emotional when talking about the recent targeted arrests.
To show our families that we're here for them, that we support them, that we value them, everything they bring to our community, these hardworking people. We value what they do, we recognize their work, and we want them to know that this is a place where they can feel safe.
Madison Police Chief Mike Koval said ICE usually notifies the department when they are in the city, but they did not this time. 3 people are dead and 2 more are in the hospital after a car crash last night. The Columbia County Sheriff's Department says it happened around 6 at the intersection of South 127 and County Highway O in Newport Township, just southeast of the Dells. An SUV with 3 men in it was driving northbound on County Highway O when the driver appeared to fail to yield the right-of-way at the stop sign. Deputies say a truck was driving westbound when it collided with the Toyota. All 3 men in the Toyota were pronounced dead at the scene. Officers say they did not appear to be wearing seatbelts. The driver and the passenger in the truck were taken to the hospital. The sheriff's office said and the Wisconsin State Patrol are investigating whether alcohol or drugs were a factor. Police believe the driver of an SUV that crashed and rolled into a cornfield early this morning was intoxicated. Rock County officials say it happened around 4 just off County Highway S and County Highway BT. Deputies say the driver of the SUV failed to stop at the intersection, which caused it to go into a ditch, roll over several times, and come to a stop in a cornfield. The driver and 1 passenger were wearing their seatbelts. The backseat passenger was not and suffered substantial injuries. 35-year-old Corey Reed from Freeport, Illinois, was arrested on suspicion of causing injury by intoxicated use of a motor vehicle. All right, let's turn it over to meteorologist Dave Caulfield with your first alert forecast on this first full day of fall.
Yeah, and the first full day of fall, Amanda, a little bit warmer than yesterday with highs in the 70s for many spots across southern Wisconsin. Plenty of sunshine once again on this Sunday. A live look in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam, currently right at 70 degrees in Madison. East-southeast wind at 7 miles per hour. Pretty comfortable air is still in place. Temperatures across some other spots up to 76 right now in Boscobel, 73 in Janesville, still in the 60s in Juneau, and Watertown, Waukesha at 64. That's still about 5 to, in some cases, close to 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours will fall through the 60s into the low 50s overnight, so not as cool as we head into the overnight hours. As we take a look at your day planner for tomorrow, highs should be back into the mid 70s with plenty of sunshine, but some changes arrive Monday night into Tuesday. I'll talk about those in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. Police are looking for a suspect after an armed robbery at Marco's Pizza in Janesville. Officers say it happened on the 1900 block of Center Avenue late last night. Police say a man entered the restaurant just before midnight armed with a handgun and demanded cash. He ran off with an undisclosed amount of money. He's believed to be wearing a dark blue windbreaker style top with a hood and a gray scarf to cover his face. If you have any information, contact Janesville Police. Sexual assault can be a hard topic to tackle, but victims advocates in the area are trying to make the conversation more approachable with a fundraiser today. The Java Jive raises money for the Dane County Rape Crisis Center. It was a lighthearted coffee tasting and brunch. Organizers say that in the wake of the Me Too movement, many people want to help but don't know how. This event is supposed to make that easier.
It's fun to be able to support this work and not in a depressing way, as so many people think that it is. I mean, it's a coffee tasting, so you know everybody's pretty jacked up on coffee and having a great time.
Attendees enjoyed local coffee and entertainment. The funds will support the various resources the Rape Crisis Center provides. Madison's first new live music venue in years is opening this week. The Sylvie, just off East Wash, a much anticipated 2,500 capacity music hall, kicks things off with a sold-out show on Thursday night. Our Madeline O'Neill joins us in the news center with a look at the new venue. Maddie?
Amanda, those behind the Sylvie have a rich musical background here in Madison dating back to the 60s. The name is a tribute to the matriarch of the Frank family behind the Madison-based Frank Productions. Now FPC Live, a merger of Frank Productions and Majestic Live, hope to expand our area's music scene in the coming decades. This is what you can expect.
It's a long-anticipated venue.
Even though the marquee is still blank.
People are clamoring to get in here for sure.
And it's surrounded by lines of construction cones rather than concert goers.
We'll be ready to rock. We just got to get all the junk out of the way.
The Sylvie is already drawing visitors like Sarah Berry, a lifelong lover of Madison-based music.
I love the revitalization that's been happening.
She stopped by to check in on the music venue's progress before its opening show Thursday night, featuring Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats.
They're a soul band, kind of a throwback sound.
We've listened to the band for a long time, and when we saw they were coming, it was a no-brainer. Buy the tickets. Right here in town.
The Sylvie will play host to a mix of shows.
And we do about every genre you can imagine.
And fill what FPC Live's co-president Matt Girding says is a gap in Madison's up-and-coming music scene.
And there's a real need for a venue of this size.
Girding says the 2,500 capacity venue plants a flag in Madison as an important market for the music industry.
I think over the course of time, you'll see some pretty big names coming through here.
Reserved seating on an upper level is available, but most fans will take to the floor.
You'll never be more than 100 feet away from the stage, which means that there's just not a bad seat in the house.
To get a peek inside,
I would love to see in. Love to see all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
we, like Barry and everyone else,
Not today, right.
will just have to wait.
And we're excited to show it to people.
This will be great.
We'll see you Thursday.
The Sylvie still isn't allowing media to take pictures inside, but I got a quick tour and it looks ready to go for Thursday. Beyond Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, upcoming acts include Primus, Death Cab for Cutie, and Greta Van Fleet, along with Madison and Natives Garbage.
All right, thank you so much, Maddie. Thousands of people are celebrating a Wisconsin staple for the 6th year at none other than Curd Fest at Breeze-Stevens Field. The festival features 6 celebrity chefs who created their very own cheese curd that guests could purchase. The chefs and fresh curd vendors competed for awards honoring the best fresh curd, the best fried curd, fans' choice curd, and the best overall curd.
I mean, it's Wisconsin, it's cheese curds, you know, it's a celebration of cheese curds. And as America's Dairyland, I think it really fits the Wisconsin spirit. And where else, what better place to do it than here in Madison?
There was also a fried cheese curd eating competition at this event. The winners of that competition were given 2 concert tickets to a Breeze-Stevens Field event in 2019. There's more to come on News 3 at 5:30. Up next, why the woman who's accusing Judge Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault says she now will testify. Welcome back. The woman who says Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her when they were teenagers will testify before Congress this week. CBS's Meg Oliver has those details.
Christine Blasey Ford is going to tell her story to Congress. On Sunday, the Senate Judiciary Committee agreed to hold a public hearing this Thursday with Ford and Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh as the star witnesses. She claims that when they were both in high school, a drunken Kavanaugh put his hand over her mouth at a party and groped her. He has categorically denied the accusation. Sources tell CBS News that Ford's lawyers are still negotiating who will testify first and whether other witnesses will be called. Democratic Senator Mazie Hirono says Ford has a right to be heard without being prejudged.
She's coming forward and very bravely saying, I will tell my story. So I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that she can tell her story free of intimidation, fear, and the kind of threats that she's already getting for even coming forward.
Supporters of Kavanaugh say Ford's testimony will be weighed against the lack of other evidence.
I will do the following. Listen to Dr. Ford, compare that to everything in the record, and make a decision. This accusation is 36 years old. I don't know when it happened. I don't know where it happened. And all the people who have been named say it didn't happen.
Ford's sister-in-law says she has no reason to lie.
She's a serious person, and she has a very full life. She didn't need to bring this into her life.
Thursday's hearing is slated to start at 10 a.m. on Capitol Hill. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
Republicans hope to have Kavanaugh seated by October 1st, the start of the Supreme Court's fall session. Up next, a beautiful fall day across southern Wisconsin. Dave Caulfield will have your first alert forecast when we come back.
Good evening. I hope you had a really nice Sunday, a beautiful first full day of fall across southern Wisconsin with lots of sunshine and temperatures in the 70s. Weather track showing things staying pretty calm right now. Any precipitation well to our north, either the northwest or the northeast. That's a stationary front that really hasn't moved all that much, and stationary fronts tend to do that. Over the next couple of days, though, some rain showers are possible, especially as we get into late Monday and early Tuesday. Weather track showing any precipitation, really the bulk of it, well off to the south and east. And we're going to be dealing with the sunshine for much of Monday as well. And this is the second straight day of dry weather. Remember, the last work week, we had some type of rain, whether that be a trace or measurable rain, pretty much every day of that week. So it's nice to get a little bit of a break from that. Above average rainfall already for the month of September, with still about a week to go, and we're about 2 inches ahead of schedule in Madison. Zooming in, we can see low temperatures started off a little bit warmer compared to last night and the morning, or I should say 2 nights ago in the morning before that, I should say. 45, the low temperature in Madison and in Janesville. Some of us were still in the 30s, like Black River Falls. Temperatures right now are in the low 70s, generally a few 60s closer to Juneau and Watertown. 70 in the Dells, 71 in Camp Douglas, 76, pretty warm in Boscobel. Downtown Madison showing the nice conditions staying with us on the Edgewater Skycam. Plenty of sunshine today. Highs a little bit above normal for this time of year. Nowhere near the record, though, set back just last year of 92 degrees. Now, the fall color report, since we are now officially in fall, we actually had a little bit of a warm summer, not a hot summer, mind you, but a warm summer. So I would say peak leaf watching season is going to be a little bit later this time around. Still, we do have some spots encroaching on 50%, but for southern Wisconsin, we're probably going to have to wait just a little while longer, at least into the bulk of October. But high temperature trends showing temperatures on the cooling trend, and that is supported by our upper air maps. You see all this blue, that's cooler than normal air, and really it sticks around across southern Wisconsin for the next 7 to 10 days. There are going to be a few exceptions, but temperatures generally heading closer to 60 degrees as we end this month. Tonight, mostly clear, not as cool, with temperatures near 50 overnight. For tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, and mild with temperatures in the mid-70s. Ahead of that cold front, we stay quiet tonight with just a few clouds here and there. Clouds on the increase, though, for Monday. But temperatures still should make it into the mid-70s. Then, as we head into Monday night into Tuesday, a couple of showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm possible. But precipitation potential, folks, is just almost non-existent. So really not worried about any heavy rain with this next round of showers and isolated thunderstorm or two. Your 7-day forecast showing those temperatures really staying in the 60s for the foreseeable future. We get kind of a day of rain and then a day off from that rain into next weekend, where temperatures near 60. Plenty more chances for some showers as well.
Plenty more. All right. Thank you so much, Dave. Penalties plague the Packers today in Washington, D.C. Highlights and postgame coming up next in sports.
Well, first road test for the Packers this weekend. It did not go well, to say the least. After the game, Aaron Rodgers was asked what his advice to his teammates were after this loss in D.C. He said, quote, "Go home and have a scotch." So, without further ado, I present to you these highlights. Rain-soaked field at FedEx, but Adrian Peterson, looking like he's anything but 33 years old, punches it in to give the Redskins the 14-0 lead. Aaron Jones making his return to the field after serving a 2-game suspension for violating the NFL's drug policy. He led the ground game today with 42 yards. Later, the Packers offense finally getting something going. Aaron Rodgers to a wide-open Geronimo Allison for the 64-yard score. Packers down 28-10 at halftime. Now, Green Bay getting one more in before the end of this game. Short one to Devontae Adams on the slant there. Packers down 28-17. And then later in the third quarter, Clay Matthews breaking in, sacks Alex Smith, but Matthews called for a penalty on the play. He is less than thrilled. Fourth quarter now, Rodgers to Randall Cobb, but the ball is stripped and the Redskins recover. Cobb also less than thrilled after that. The Packers lose, and afterwards, head coach Mike McCarthy said his guys made too many mistakes, but hinted that Clay Matthews' sack wasn't one of them.
Just like anything in the game of football, you focus on what you can control. We had way too many penalties, so and our fundamentals were poor. In Clay's particular case, I thought Clay did exactly what he's supposed to do there. So, how it's being officiated, those are questions for other people. He hit him with his shoulder. He's coming full speed off of a block. He braced himself, so I was fine with what Clay did.
All right, so the stats on offense, though, not great. The Redskins defense holding the Packers ground game to a total of 100 yards. Geronimo Allison leading the wideouts with 76 yards and 1 touchdown. The Badgers faring way better in their first road test. Wisconsin moving up 3 spots to number 15 in this week's Associated Press poll after the 28-17 win over Iowa last night. With more on the game from Kinnick Stadium, here's Jay Wilson.
The thing about good football teams, dare I say championship football teams, they make plays when they really have to. And that's what Badgers did in the fourth quarter against Iowa in their 28-17 win. The defense made big stops and the offense cashed them in. Alex Hornibrook hit A.J. Taylor with the go-ahead touchdown, and Alec Ingold sealed it with another touchdown run. And the memories of that loss to BYU last week, they are long gone.
A lot of guys put it out there, and they had to. This is, like I said, this is a good Iowa team, and I'm proud of the response.
Going to a hostile environment, everyone that came here had a role, and everyone that was a part of this team believed that we were always going to win. So, that's what happened at the end there.
I think that was a game we had to fight till the end, till the last couple minutes, the last second, really. So, that's a tough game to win, and I think we did a good job today.
And you know what you're going to get, especially in the Big Ten, you're going to get all 4 quarters. So I think that wasn't lost on the guys, and we just kept fighting.
So it's all good for the Badgers. They head to their bye week to rest up. They have the inside track to a Big Ten West championship with a win against their top competitor, Iowa. Oh, yeah, and they got the Heartland Trophy, too. And about that trophy,
hey, this thing heavy, bro.
At Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, Jay Wilson, News 3 Sports.
Yeah, it looks heavy. Don't you lift, though? Come on. The Brewers wrap up the regular season this week. Final game before postseason is 1 week from today. So the Brewers aiming for a series win in the rubber match against the Pirates today. Top of the second here, 2 on for Christian Yelich. High fly, deep ball to center field, and it goes into the stands. 3-run home run. 3-0 Brewers. 2 batters later, Travis Shaw blasting one to left field. That's a 2-run home run for his 31st of the year. 6-0 Brewers. In the 6th, capitalizing on the Pirates' mistakes here, bases loaded, and Michael Feliz throwing a wild one, so that gets so far away from the plate that 3 runs score. Brewers winning big today, 13-6. They're now 2.5 games behind the Cubs, 2 games ahead of the Cardinals in the wild card standings. And Amanda, now they head to St. Louis tomorrow for a 3-game series. Chase Anderson will get the start. So a very important series tomorrow, starting tomorrow.
13-6. That's a good score to end the day with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you. We'll be right back. Finally, at 5:30, most kids enjoy a baseball game by bringing their gloves and waiting for a foul ball, but not this kid. This is during the Mets versus Nationals game yesterday. A young boy was in the stands dressed in a full umpire uniform. He was calling the game from his seat and mimicking umpires during the game. He even had, this is the best part, a brush to dust off home plate.
Oh my God, I love him.
That is adorable.
I want him to be my best friend.
That's
oh my
awesome.
gosh.
I mean, maybe he can give the Mets some friendly calls. I mean, they're out of the playoffs right now, so we could definitely use that as a Mets fan. That's my interpretation of this, at least.
Maybe you should dress like that. It'll help.
You know what? That's what we've been missing all year, and we've been missing this weather all year because it is fantastic. A live look in Platteville at the Sunshine, the Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Temperatures falling through the 60s into the lower 50s, so not as cool to start off our Monday. Temperatures in the mid-70s for highs, plenty of sunshine, but then we do get those changes to arrive late Monday into Tuesday. Some showers possible, also some showers and storms possible on Thursday.
All right, thanks so much, and thanks for joining us. Have a good day.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.